Okay.
Welcome to our talk show this morning. We have four very exciting guests. I'm going to start with Eric. He is new and he represents the legal side of the real estate business, thinking more about the landlord-tenant side, correct, Eric?
Yes. Jim, appreciate you having me here. Yes, my name is Eric Francisconi. I'm an attorney at Fitzgerald Yap Creditor. I'm a partner there. I've been practicing law for 25 years. We have an office in Irvine, but I actually live about 5 minutes from the office here, so delighted to be here. A lot of people these days, Jim, a lot of apartment owners are really concerned about some of the new laws, particularly AB 1842, which is, really just came about. And people are very concerned about how, to handle evictions now, that there are certain criteria for those evictions and how they should revise their leases. And we stand ready to help anybody who's in that situation, either trying to prepare for how to go forward or in having to face litigation, maybe based on some of these new civil code.
Everything's changed, hasn't it?
It really has. I mean, not surprisingly to become more tenant oriented in California, but it's an entirely different landscape.
Tenant-oriented is Greek for socialism, but anyway, I digress. Eric, do you mind if a apartment owner gives you their rental agreements and have you analyze them and get updated? And
Be delighted to take.
how do we get a hold of you?
Well, my email address is efrancisconi, so that's EFRANCISCONI at fyklaw.com, so that's Foxtrot Yankee Kilo.com, and our telephone number is 949-788-8900.
Thank you very much, Eric. Get a hold of him if you have any questions on your landlord-tenant situations. And coming up here, further lowering our standards, is our good friend from Exchange Resources. Phil, what's going on in the world of uplegs and 1031 exchanges?
I'm really busy. I mean, this year just opened up with a bang. Lots of investors are moving their properties around right now. The bottom line is that the most difficult part of doing an exchange is the upleg, like you said. One of the recommendations I've been making to the agents is to make sure you put contingency language in that sales contract that allows you to extend the escrow, to give you time to make sure that you're in escrow on an acquisition, pass an inspection report, approve the preliminary title report, and then release the contingency close. So you've got something to go into.
So if you're doing a 1031 exchange and you want to sell your apartment building and not pay property taxes or capital gains taxes, you get a hold of Phil. He can help you do that.
Yeah, just to clarify the capital gains thing, a lot of people are a little confused. The average person is going to be between around 15% as high as 20% in terms of long-term capital gains. But after 200 or 250, depending if you're single or married, then you have to pay for the Obamacare tax, which goes another 3.8%. Then you pay the state of California, which is as high as 13.3%. And then lastly, you've got a recapture depreciation at 25%. That's a lot of money. That's why this exchange is so powerful. And now it allows you not just to keep that tax, but it lets you acquire better property for yourself that hopefully produces more income, appreciates, is in a better area, buying up to create more depreciation. It's all about the replacement property, and that's why that contingency language is so important.
Between lawsuits and capital gains taxes, I'm depressed. But get a hold of Phil and Eric, and they'll get you out of both the tax situation and the legal situation, Jim. And then, Phil, you don't mind having people run their verbiage by you as far as the 1031 to make sure it's complies with the IRS regulations and stuff?
Have them call me. Call me directly. 213-479-8800.
Phil is the big shot, runs the company, but he still takes calls on his cell phone, which is always nice. I appreciate that.
Unless it
Phil.
says Jim Joseph.
Okay, next. Landon is new to us. He's from LA Fitness. Just kidding. He's from Tip Top Restoration. So, Landon, what do you do, and how can you help apartment owners with their tenants and property?
So I'm the business marketing director at Tip Top. We do all emergency services, so water, fire, mold, smoke damages. Obviously, apartment owners, they come across this really often. We're out there with them all the time. One of the biggest things we can do is just be honest with them as far as giving them guidance on whether or not to actually do an insurance claim or to do it out of the pocket. If it's out of the pocket, obviously, we keep it as minimal as possible. But otherwise, we're professionals and working with the insurance companies to make sure their claim doesn't get denied if they do decide to put it through.
So is it water damage? What if a tenant just thrashes the property? You do that too, or is it mainly like a?
If it thrashes the
Act
property,
of God type of
that's
thing.
civil, I think. But if it's actually an emergency, it has to be sudden. So basically, it has to be something that they couldn't have kept from happening, or they didn't know was going to happen. It wasn't there one moment, and then the next moment was. So like a pipe burst, or obviously a fire, or mold's a little bit harder to get covered by insurance as well, because obviously it's more of a long-term situation. But a lot of times, based on what caused the mold, we can still get it covered.
You also do mold remediation or
Yeah,
mold?
mold remediation.
That's a hot
as well.
issue nowadays.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. We,
Remember when Ed McMahon got mold damage in his house and sued and lost, or what? It was
I
a
remember.
nightmare.
It's terrible. We were actually in a house the other day, and they didn't want to move forward with handling their issue. They just kind of wanted to sit on it, and they called us back about a month later. Their kids started getting dizzy, and that's one of the signs of issues caused by mold. And they're like, okay, now come, let's take care of this. We're moving out. So I mean, it's something you can sit on if you want, but they make there's a lot of scare tactics, I think, around mold that companies like mine use, not necessarily us, but there's some mold that's bad and some mold that's really bad. If you just got the bad mold and you may not get sick over it, it's probably still a good idea to take care of it, but then there's actually some mold out there that'll really mess you up. So
How do we get hold of you?
you can call me directly at 818-429-2205. You can call me, or you can email me at landon@tiptoprestoration.com.
I think of Phil as good mold, not bad mold, but anyway, that's.
I have a question for you. How'd you come up with this act of God thing? How come God gets blamed for everything that goes wrong?
That's another episode.
Okay.
Speaking of good mold, Steve,
Thank you.
tell us about earthquakes. Right now, most of the clients think that it's not necessary because we don't have an earthquake. And then when there is an earthquake, a lot of my clients say that the deductible is so high, they can't do anything. So what do you do? And if we listen to you now, we won't have to worry about earthquake insurance or earthquake damage, right?
Right, what we do is at Optimum Seismic, we retrofit buildings for earthquakes. And we've been around for 35 years. We're the oldest and we've been around forever almost in California. We're the largest in California. And we've done about 3,500 projects. So what we do is we go in and we take a look at it. The main thing what we do, what I think I want to talk about right now is we give free estimations. The number one thing that people ask us is how much is it going to cost us? How much is it going to cost us? Call us, give us your address, and we can take a look based on your address on what kind of structure it is, and we'll give you a free estimate on how much it's going to cost you.
We're going to have a big one. There's no question about it. It's just a matter of when, right?
Eventually, that's what we always hear. The big one is coming, and who knows when it is and how big it's going to be. But one thing I wanted to stress also, besides the problems with damage that it can do, an earthquake can do, there's a lot of liability that's involved also. Talking to an attorney here, there's a lot of liability. A few years ago, Los Robles had a earthquake, and 2 people were killed in the earthquake. They sued the owner of the property. The property owner said, the ordinance in the city gives me 7 years to complete the structure for seismic retrofit. He says, I'm only in my 5th year, so I'm in compliance. Well, the courts held that you knew your property was needed retrofit, and you spent money on elevators and other things that benefited you, but didn't benefit the tenants. So they held the owner liable for $1 million each for each person. So that was a few years ago. I can imagine what it is now. But don't think because the city gives you 7 years, you have 7 years to fix it. The best bet is to go ahead and take care of it as soon as possible.
So Steve, if I own 10 units in La Habra, I can call you, you can do a Google search, give me a property analysis, tell me how much it's going to cost.
Exactly. We'd love to do it at no
How do we
fee.
get a hold of you?
You can give us a call at, look us up at www.optimumseismic.com, OPTIMUMSEISMIC.com, or you can give me a call on my cell phone at 562-522-6959.
I
Do
don't
you
know
do
what,
single family?
We don't do single family.
Okay.
I don't know whether this crowd makes you feel better or worse about life, but it's a fine line. But anyway, these are 4 great professionals that will help you out of any kind of a jam that you're in, and some good advice. But before we leave, our one of our prominent vendors has written a book, Thoughts of Life. And how do we get a hold of this?
Oh, you can look on Amazon Books. Amazon Books sells it, or you can go to my publisher at exlibris.com, and they have it for sale right now also.
Thoughts
Amazon
of
still
Life.
sells books?
Amazon still sells books.
Thoughts of Life, Steve Soto. So there you are. And Phil, you also have a book, don't you? Is that coming out?
No.
Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll have all the contact information of these 4 gentlemen at the bottom. We're striving to give you guys the best information on how you can run your apartment buildings with the least amount of hassle and the most profit. And this is a group of 4 guys that will help you do that. Thanks for watching.